the Tigers. Kickoff unit is ready, and so is this home crowd. They've been waiting on the season, and here we go. Coming out with it, it's Johnson. He's got great speed. Just a tremendous return. Great run, great speed and vision to really set up this offense. He almost got totally loose on that one. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. On the move, it's Davidson. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49. Let's take a second and talk about Clemson. The good news about starting the season outside the top 25, not a lot of lofty expectations. You can sneak up on a few teams, but sooner or later, you're going to want to get that attention and get into those rankings. It's a fumble on the play. Defense grabs the football, and there he goes.
First game of the year, you're always worried about turnovers, right? And this guy has the ultimate nightmare on his first touch of the year. Puts the ball on the ground. He's got to be able to flush that out. You've got to get ready to go play the next play.
To the ground with the back. Pickup of 5. It's now 2nd and 5.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop. You move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs close to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
Hard running there. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
Man, coaches talked about they want to get this running back involved early and often and create some momentum, and this is a great way to do it. Early in this football game, ripping off an explosive run, get the juices going, and I bet you he's going to get a few more touches.
Can't get him to the ground. They get him stopped at the 26, but boy, that was an attitude run, a pickup of 6.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Six-yard pickup on first down leaves him with 2nd and 4. Here's a give to Durham. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Man, this guy is so scary when he has the ball in his hands. He kind of reminds me, he's got a little bit of Leonard Fournette. He's got a little bit of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you know, just that shake and bake. And when they get in the second level, DBs just don't seem to know how to tackle this guy. You don't want to submarine. He might hurdle over you, but if you don't go in with conviction, and he's got the speed to get outside and take it the distance. This dude just makes your heart stop every time he has the ball.
Quarterback may change this route. Bring in the heat. And they got him. The defense coming up big there, and the sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home, and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and that's fun to be a defensive coordinator calling the plays.
The Tigers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Looking to throw, it's Levitt. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. They draw first blood, and that is exactly what you want to open the season with a drive like that. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0.
And that is the first pass passing touchdown, first of many of the season for this offense. Nice drive by the offense. Way to finish it, take care of the football, make some plays in the passing game. This offense looks like they're going to be a really hard one to stop.
Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, Dave. Breaks into the open. Got enough for the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. There's an idea that Clemson can only run the ball when they sort of trick you and get you in space, but they're showing a lot of versatility now.
Yeah, I think the word you were looking for was finesse. They've been a finesse offense, more about tempo and body blows than it is about, being physical up front. But if this unit does get that physicality and get that ground game and a good offensive line, I think that's when you see the best of the Clemson Tigers.
Cranking up a drive like that can really get you going. It's first down from the 44. This time he wants to throw. Got it in the middle. It's Brown. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
And I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
There's some room. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29. You count up those explosive plays in a game, and you put a little extra star by the big runs.
Yeah, and this running back is a weapon, boy. He is so good in space. He's got shiftiness. He can make guys miss. And if this guy gets into the second level, watch out. He can hit a home run.
Picks up the first down. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Clemson. Extra point here will tie the game. And he knocks the extra point through the uprights. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And he put an exclamation point on that drive with the 29-yard touchdown. Let's see what he can do with the return. Makes a move. He's out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Maybe another step, another block, and he gets more, but the offense will take over there. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. What a good mix of plays, keeping that defense off balance last time, David.
And Reese, they don't know if it's run or if it's pass. They got them right where they want it. This defense doesn't know how to react from getting punched in the mouth on that last drive.
So in this next drive, David, I think you keep running the football because that sets up the play action. It sets up the RPO game, and then you keep this defense guessing.
Man, those are frustrating because you know you're supposed to catch that. You're supposed to secure it. It's going to happen, but it's just frustrating for those receivers. Just tap the chest. My bad, dog.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. On the run, it's Hall. And the defense wrestles him to the ground.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense where you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. Then if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. But great job in the base defense making a play.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Dropping back, it's Levitt. Trying to beat the D deep. It's picked up, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
Not all guys have the ability to break on the football, go make a play, and catch it. You play defense for a reason. A lot of the wide receivers are the ones that do most of the catching. Great job by the defense securing the INT.
They'll leave it with the lone back. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. Oh, they're after him. And down he goes. The defense bringing the heat.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. So they were getting up against the play clock, and they don't want the penalty. They'll take the timeout here. After using an early one, 2 left for them to spend. One final play before the end of the quarter. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. He's going to run it. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. We've played one, and we are right back where we started, all tied up after the first period as we take a look at the stats. After that tight first quarter, this second period ought to be a lot of fun. So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. Kick is in the air. Wants to bring it back. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the Oak. The Tigers sending out their offense ready to get this drive started. They've seen the good and the bad already. A touchdown on the opening drive, a pick on the second one, and now to try to get things back on track.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down, the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Dropping back, it's Levin. Swings it out to his running back. Gets the ball right to the 50-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down.
Well, it's a great job by the quarterback there, understanding you're being blitzed. You know you're not going to be able to hold on to it very long, so find the back, get it into his hands quickly, let him go pick up the first.
See if they can turn this drive into points. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. Wants to throw it again. Under fire. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. He's brought down. A short return, but the defense comes out on top with a pick.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you, and I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent.
Snags it, and there's running room. Touchdown, Clemson. Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
And how nice is it to have a playmaker like that I can get the ball out of my hands right to him and say, all right, dude, you got jets, you can fly, catch the slant, make some people miss, outrun some angles, and get all the way to the end zone.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Durham. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. Got a man, it's Thomas. Getting behind those pads and behind a stiff arm to get it out to the 27. After that last play, there is a Clemson Tiger slow to get up. You hate to see this, all of the work in the offseason and injury this early in the year. The Tigers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Off the play fake. Tight end finds a soft spot. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
It's not a great feeling on defense, too. When you're blitzing, you're expecting to get a sack. You're expecting to get a hit on the quarterback. If the offensive line and running backs pick it up, because now you have one less guy in the back end trying to cover all these receivers and tight ends, and you know you're in trouble.
They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. Looking for space. It's Hall. And they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain. All right, guys, let's talk LSU. You start the season top 25. Clearly expectations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week and every opponent one at a time. The number beside your name doesn't matter right now. The number matters late in the season. So you want to start the season fast. You want to be gelling on offense and on defense. I think that's the challenge early here.
Absolutely. Figuring out who you are. Obviously some talented pieces, well thought of in the top 25, but a lot of season to go out and prove it. Day one, game one. Make that first impression.
This quarterback, man, looks like he's playing angry right now. He did not like that interception he threw the last time out on the field. You could see on the sidelines, guys. He could not wait to get back out there, and that time it was like he was running mad. I don't even know if he really wanted to throw that ball. He just wanted to take off, scramble, go get the first down.
LSU moving the ball quickly down the field. Back to throw, it's Levitt. Go to the right side, that's Wilson.
Man, you put those slot receivers in there, and here's why you do it. You back them off the football a lot of times, but who's guarding it? A lot of times those are linebackers, those are safeties. You get those good matchups where you can feature one of your speedsters, and a lot of times good things happen.
Picked up 5 on that last pass play, now it's 2nd and 5. Hands it off. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a baller.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Making side adjustments here. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Stepping to the right. Unleashes one. He's got it. That'll be enough for the first down as they mark it down at the 31-yard line. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
Noses ahead to the 30-yard line and pick up of 1.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add them down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. It's Levitt. Using his legs to buy some time. And he's left with no option but to throw it away.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the 1st half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the 2nd half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Third and long from the 30-yard line in this defense, hoping to knock them out of field goal range. Rushes on him. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And that's a play on 3rd down. This offense just has to do a better job protecting their quarterback. Give him a split second more time to complete that throw, but they couldn't do it there.
And they're going to head out to line up for a field goal. Thought he had it and couldn't get it through the uprights. He missed it. After that miss, still a 7-point game, guys.
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man, just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss-make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Give to the single back. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield and get the tackle for loss.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Looking for a crease. It's Davidson. Great to have perfect blocking, but you can also make your own, and that's exactly what he does, getting it up to the 36.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge 3rd down coming. He'll try it again. Plows through the defense. He now has 53 yards rushing already here in the 1st half. It's a season opener, but he's in midseason form. And the Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Running inside. It's Johnson. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They've softened them up with a run. Now to throw it. Makes the grab. It's Moore. And he was on his way, and they get him down at the 30.
And a nice job finding my wide receiver. And then how about the wide receiver turning into a running back, getting upfield, getting some positive yards, and getting the 1st down.
The Tigers, after moving the sticks through the air, come to the line. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
Well, you love to see that from the defense, right? It's like bend, don't break. They've given up a bunch of plays on this drive, but now that they're getting down close to field goal range, you're seeing them start to stiffen up.
Yeah, and plays don't matter anymore. Yards don't matter. All that matters with these defenses nowadays is points and limiting them.
Corralled and forced out of bounds. Mark it right at the 16-yard line, and man, are they in business.
And that's why, as a former quarterback, man, I love these drag routes, because if you get the right coverage and it's man-to-man and someone gets picked or can't keep up with your receiver, you just put it out nicely in front of them. They're going to make the catch, and they're going to take it a long way. Really great execution. Nice job by the receiver creating separation, and beautiful throw out in front of the target.
Under fire, and it's a sack.
And the defense needed that one badly. They're losing in this game. They just gave up a big play, so they finally get the sack, but you feel like they're going to need more than that. They're going to need some turnovers to get back in this game.
That last play, the kind of thing that can mess up a really good drive. It's 2nd and 17. Back to pass. Throws to the wideout. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. He can be dangerous with the ball in his hands, but no room to return that pick, and they'll go on offense from the 21.
And what a great job by the defense that time. Cover one, man coverage, and did you see how everybody was impressed? When you press receivers, you disrupt their timing. You get your hands on them at the line of scrimmage, you jam them, and it completely disrupts the quarterback and his thought process, and that time, that was a big reason that ball got INT.
Pulls it in down the sideline. Took it all the way to the 36-yard line, and he flipped the field in an instant. Now the LSU Tigers will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. To the air, it's Levitt. Gets away, trying to get rid of it.
And I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now, why they're trailing on the scoreboard, is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. Wants to adjust the pattern. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
And when you go 5 wide, man, and you spread the formation, it puts a lot of emphasis on those trenches. And those trenches have got to be good. You got to pick up those guys up front. They didn't do it, and they're getting their quarterback hit as he throws the football.
Oh, the attempt is no good. And they couldn't cut into the lead. It's still a 7-point game. And they head to the locker room. 2 quarters in the books, and time for us now to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football studio with scores from around the country.
Gentlemen, so much excitement around a brand new season, and we're excited to get you caught up on everything here in Week 1. And we start with the NC State Wolfpack, taking on the number 16, the Miami Hurricanes. And it's NC State.
He's on the loose. Can they catch him? They won't get him. It's a touchdown.
You can't start the second half any better than that. You're trying to come out of the locker room. You're trying to create some momentum. Taking the first kick of the 3rd quarter back for a touchdown, that is exactly what this head coach was looking for from his players.
Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And the extra point was good. No incident there, and we're tied up in the 3rd. So that one will put his name in the record books. You can't have a longer return in college football. 100 yards for 6. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Tigers send out the offense to go to work. They'll open the second half with a run. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
A lot of times you see these defenses, man, they pull the run blitzes. They understand the formations. It might be a run, play the percentages, and then you got to deal with the big defensive tackle inside. So more bodies near the line of scrimmage. Everybody's got to pick him up, but they didn't block the most important guy, the big fella right in the middle.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Looking to fire. Moves away as he feels pressure. He'll pull it down and run. Crosses the 30. He's got a lane. He'll be forced out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 44-yard line, and this offense has it going.
These quarterbacks are nightmares to play. Pretty good coverage on the outside. Man-to-man, nobody looking at the quarterback. He takes off. He doesn't look like a quarterback. Looks like a running back. Chews up yards, gets way down the field, and makes a big play for this offense.
And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49.
And a nice job by the offense picking up the blitz, understanding that extra guy was coming, and creating just a little bit of a hole for that running back to slither through and get some positive yards.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Back to pass. Hauls it in. First grab of the season for this highly talented freshman. They believe he's just going to get better each and every snap.
And you got man-to-man coverage, and you're running that curl route. That ball has to come out. You know you're going to get hit. Like, you know you stopped your route. He's going to be right there. He does a great job securing the catch, getting the first down.
This Clemson offense moving quickly down the field. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Davidson. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Delayed handoff. It's Johnson. Looking for room at the 30. Touchdown, Tigers! And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half.
Man, I am a great play caller when I can hand it to guys like that. And he can go that far to the house, create big plays, showed you a little bit of vision, showed you a little bit of burners. When he kicked it in gear, he got the long touchdown.
And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The LSU offense comes out to start this drive. They'll try to answer that last score with one of their own. A chance here to tie the game with a touchdown drive. Someone moved a little early and the offense will go backward. So the decision has been made and the coach will take the penalty. Just a little too eager there, and they'll back up 5, and it's 1st and 15. The give to Caden Durham. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
goodness, that happened fast. He was in the backfield before the ball was even snapped.
Oh, man, adrenaline pumping, heart beating a little faster. There is some intensity on that one. The Tigers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. The offense changing the play. Looking downfield, it's Levin. Here comes the heat. And down he goes.
Man, this offense has been bad. How about the first play? Nowhere to go, nowhere to run, tackle for a loss. Second play, you get your quarterback sacked. And the third play, now we're sitting in 3rd and long, right where this defense wants to get us.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. He's looking downfield to throw. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that. You can show your exotic looks. You can get the pass rush going. Everybody in the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
LSU will bring the punt team on the field. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He's going to get loose. The speed, the shiftiness, the elusiveness, all on display in that sweet return there. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. You want to talk about a drive where you impose your will? That's what they did, running it down for a touchdown, David.
There is nothing more demoralizing than that for a defense. To be physically pounded, the run is coming, you know it's coming, and you can't stop it.
Nothing the defense can do. That is mano-a-mano up front, and your guys getting a push. They know you're running it, and they still can't stop it.
2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. The run inside. It's Davidson. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And this D needs more of that, man. This is a really close football game, and you got to get these stops down the stretch and meet the physical challenge of this offense, and they do right there, man. And that's one step closer to getting this football back and maybe making this thing a football game.
Big 3rd down in the red zone, and this crowd is getting behind this defense. Got it looking for a first. And he's going to be just short of the 1st down. It's going to bring up a decision for this coach.
That's one as a quarterback. You've thrown the completion, and you're like, dude, can you just turn around and make one guy miss and go get the first? Or can you just stretch out and get the 1st down? You need your guys to have a little bit more awareness where they are in the field on that play. And even though they got the completion, it's not enough to pick up the first. And now you're staring 4th down right in the face.
Needing to convert, Clemson comes to the line. Looking for a push on 4th down. He's not quite going to get there. They'll turn it over on downs as the defense stops him a few yards short.
Man, what a job keeping your eyes on your key. It's so easy sometimes when they run those RPOs to get a little bit lost with your eyes, to come up, play the run. Nice job seeing the ball thrown. He's got his guy, makes the tackle, and gets the big 4th down stop.
They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. He gets it all the way out to the 19-yard line, a pickup of 6.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on 1st down, man, you are doing just that.
They go right back to him, and he'll be smacked to the ground.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
So So 3rd and short from inside the 20. You convert here, and this drive takes on a different complexion. Might be changing the route. Back to pass, it's Levin. Working that left side now. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
To the air on 1st down. Pocket breaking down. And here's the 3rd interception of the night. Bringing it back. Touchdown, Tigers. The defense putting points on the board. What a play by this defense with the pick 6.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to do. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
And the extra point was good to finish things off. On the run from inside his own 5. He'll be brought down at the 22-yard line. Good coverage on that one. His return is stopped short of the 25. We thought we might see some of this. They'll go to the Wildcat formation here. Direct snap. It's Berry. Into a mass of giant bodies. We'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24. We've reached the break. Clemson has the lead. This has been utter domination through 3 quarters, and the stats will back that up. Just about ready to go in the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. And a chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. Motion from the back. Snap to the back. Gets the nose of the ball to the 25, give him 1. Come to the line, facing 3rd and long from the 25. To the air, it's Levin. Got the quick pass. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. LSU quick to the line.
Well, trailing like they are right now in the 4th quarter, their execution offensively is just going to have to be at a premium. You can't afford a lot of incompletions at this point. Everybody is going to need to be on the same page moving forward.
Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a 1st down at the 44.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the 4th quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a play.
LSU moving quickly, going to work again on 1st down. Wants to throw it again. He's got him. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
Just keep slinging it. And they drop him for a loss, but there are penalty markers on the field. Let's check out the call. You can grab, but you can't hold on. A defensive holding penalty will give this offense a 1st down. The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after the penalty. Here's a heat. Got his man on the right. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work.
And as a quarterback, man, you have to have a short memory, right? Be able to put mistakes behind you. He threw an interception last possession. Who cares? Nice job coming out, getting organized, getting the play down, having confidence, and now they're moving the ball right down the field.
Makes the grab on the left. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch. Going to work on second down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Looking for a man. It's Levin. Just gets rid of it before the heat. He just threw that one away. Nobody was getting open. He had to live to find another play in the red zone. It'll be third down.
And this is a tough time for this offense because you're in passing mode. You're in comeback mode, and what is that? The defense knows that. Like, they're pinning their ears back. They're coming after the quarterback, and you've already struggled protecting your guy today and creating those explosive plays. This offense is going to have to buckle up and really protect their guy up front.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Sends it back in motion. The tight end gets the handoff on third and short. You don't see that every day. Ball down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. The Tigers will call a timeout. That's their first. They still have a couple of timeouts to work with in this final quarter. First and goal, and this feels like their chance to make a game of it. They'll run it with Caden Durham. And he breaks the play. Touchdown, LSU! Before that score, considering last rites, now all of a sudden, they're not dead yet. In fact, they're feeling much better, and they're alive, and they've got a chance.
And I'm looking on the field right now. I'm looking at their sideline. They're energized, Reese. After that last score, all of a sudden, they believe they can come back and win this game. This is a totally different-looking team than what we saw earlier.
He'll bring it out. It's Johnson. Just able to get out to the 18-yard line on the return before he stopped. Clemson comes out its offense ready to go on the attack. That last score the defense allowed made it a one-possession game, and there is plenty of pressure to have a productive drive here. Smart move to keep it on the ground. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26.
Well, the offense has the lead, and we call this 4-minute offense. This is a situation that teams around the country practice, having the lead late in the game and needing to ice it by running the football and throwing high-percentage passes.
8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with second and short. Might as well stick with him. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down.
And how about this offense running the football when you know it's going to be a run? Being the more physical squad. And this defense, man, trailing in this football game.
First down here as we dive into the college football season. A week one clash that has been worth every minute of it so far. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
All right, this running back's had all kind of success. Now we're getting later in the game. We've got to make sure we get some stops, get the ball back to our offense.
Got stuffed on first down. It's second and 10. Wide receiver comes in motion. Lost to fire on second down. Finds his big tight end. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
Timeout called here on defense, so they'll have a couple remaining in addition to the 2-minute stoppage to try to maximize time and get the football back. Big third down as the crowd gets behind this defense. A design run for the quarterback. And the defense jumps on it. They get that turnover.
Well, you always worry about turnovers in the first game, and for this young man, he's got to be able to turn the page. I know that was his first carry of the year. He puts it on the ground. That's the nightmare scenario, but you got to be able to watch that and flush it out. You got to be able to play the next play.
So the LSU Tiger offense comes out to start this drive. They just got a huge break, and now they need to put this ball into the end zone. A field goal really doesn't help much at this stage. And he got 5 yards on the play, 2nd and 5 coming.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, that is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Back to throw, it's Levitt. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
Well, they don't pick up the first down there, but in this 2-minute situation, they need their quarterback to be decisive, to be accurate, and make really good decisions, and we'll see what he's able to do as they inch closer and closer towards the goal line.
This feels like 4-down territory, 3rd and short from the 40. To the ground to try to move the chains. LSU will get a first down. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set.
And if they're going to run the football late in the game in this situation, not that close to scoring zone, they've got to take a timeout here. You've got to make sure you save as much time as possible and communicate with your quarterback.
And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. Trying to make magic with his feet. Nice job there to limit the running room, and they get him out of bounds after a short gain.
And that's a really good job by this defense, because remember, when the quarterback runs, now you got an extra blocker, because he's not just handing it off and standing there, and they still did a good job at the point of attack, kind of strung it along and made him run out of bounds.
3rd and 6 yards to go. From the gun, wants to pass. Takes the easy throw in the flat. Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain. That play looked as if it had a chance to be productive, but the open field tackle stopped it.
And it's tough to get a running back one-on-one on the ground in the open field. You want guys swarming to the football to try to make that play, but understand that guy's a weapon. Good job by the defense seeing it, breaking on the football, getting him on the ground.
Trailing by a possession, they need to keep the ball. They'll try to convert on 4th down. Quarterback making adjustments. On 4th down, trying to find his man. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. A bold decision to go for it on 4th down, and one that did not pay off.
Nice job by this defense in a clutch moment. You knew they were going to throw the football. 4th down, great coverage, break on the football, force the incompletion, and more importantly, you get the ball back to your offense with a chance to just run this clock and get out of here with a win.
They'll start this drive at the 33-yard line. They'll give it on the counter. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play. Timeout called by LSU. That's their 2nd. they'll still have one timeout left at their disposal. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. They think there's room to run to the right here. Stuffed on back-to-back plays. He got nothing, and now they're looking at 3rd and long. Now the Tigers will spend their 3rd and final timeout. And now they are powerless to stop the clock with a timeout. And on 4th down, they'll come up and take the knee.